Hello and welcome to the program. And you're going to see in the program this week the Saturday clash from North Sydney Oval between the Bears and the Tigers. They were both very definitely walking the semi-final tightrope. And let me say, they still are very definitely flirting with death when it comes to a semi-final spot. Then, of course, the NEC big game was that one that, well, it was certainly given more publicity than probably any three other matches put together. The modern era has some arch rivals, two of the main arch rivals, of course, South and Manly. They go round at Redfern. And then on Monday night, under the Butte lights at Belmore, in Tooheys Monday Night Football, came another great clash between the neighbours, Canterbury, Bankstown and St George. So let's go now to the start of it all at North Sydney Oval between the Bears and the Tigers.
The greeting from the band for the North Sydney side, led out by Mark Graham. Of course, Mark Graham said last night that with Graham Lowe sacked as the New Zealand coach, there's every chance that he won't be playing for them again. And that's good news for the Bears because they could have him for the next couple of years without break. He's leading the side, a very strong pack of forwards. Teasdale's done a pretty good job as a stand-in hooker. A bit of a worry about Cannon. He's had flu all week and hopefully he'll be okay. Les Kiss hasn't scored a try, you know, now for 11 weeks in the North Sydney side, and he must be very keen to get back over that line again. Paul Conlon, the young fullback, made some sensational breaks last week. His defence was pretty dodgy, and of course in attack when he made those breaks, unfortunately for North, they didn't come to tries. He tended to run away from his supports a little bit, but he's a very, very key figure in the North's back line. The Balmain side out there, you can see Kerry Hemsley walking towards us. What a difference he's made to the side in the last couple of weeks since he came back into first grade. It's a good pack of forwards. Owen's in for Brooks this week, who's out injured. Scott Gale out on the cold on the wing, is back into halfback, and he's really relishing it. He and Gary Bridge have formed an excellent combination. Gale has a very strong and experienced background, and his clash with MacArthur today could be something that swings the issue. North's playing with a slight breeze in the first half. A nor'easter here at Bear Park. There should be tremendous 80 minutes of action here. Conlon's kick taken by Gardner. Back from injury, and he runs it up for the Tigers. Okay, Steve-O, what about the first 20 minutes, especially in this show?
Well, I think it'll be very rugged, Jim, but I think what North Sydney have got to realise that they can't put all their eggs in one basket. They did it last week against St George. They didn't get points on the board. They've got to pace themselves. They tired badly last week, and they can't afford to do this against Balmain. They've got too much speed outside of the Tigers.
Now it's Gale's ball. It goes to Owens. Graham makes the tackle. Elias to play it. Here comes the clearance from Gale. Down towards Conlon. Conlon pretty strong, but he can't get past those two, Sirinen and Hemsley. He's opposite Ross Conlon, injured after trying to make the tackle, and the Tigers inside the 5. Giles O'Donnell onto it. Balmain keen to get up and stop North. The first penalty of the game to the Bears, and there's Conlon with something of a wrist injury after going into that tackle on his opposite Paul Conlon.
I'll give you some indication, Jim, of how keen this Balmain side is. They realise they've got to give it everything today. To walk away with 2 points this afternoon will put a lot of pressure on the Saints on Monday night.
That's cross. Hemsley's there. Hemsley and Roach. Bella. Against Balmain. And against Roach.
Well, here we see Roach coming in pretty high. He glanced off the shoulders. That's probably saved him a stint in the sin bin.
Well, Conlon's about 35 out on the angle. And just like his namesake, he's hitting it around the corner. It's flat. Is it straight? Look at that. Well, it went sideways, but it went straight. That's all that mattered for Norths. And they're on the board after the first 4 minutes. Back to Bridge. Owens. Jones comes in for his measure. Roach. Copping a bit in there. Cross going in to help out Mark Graham. Oh, that's Gale having a bit of a preview as they came up, and a chance for Norths.
Well, you can see here Gale took his eye off the ball. Cardinal seen in rugby league, in fact in any sport.
MacArthur. In Balmain's territory, North with the breeze. That's Martin. Done a terrific job since Brian Norton brought him up from reserve grade. Now Bella. The big fella loves it. Hurling himself at the Balmain defence. Teasdale with MacArthur. That's Cannon. A run around. Conlon in the line. This fella's elusive. Watch him go. Inside it's Kiss. Kiss scores. His first try in 11 weeks for the Bears. Good play by North Sydney. They dragged the Balmain forwards in. They spun it wide, and this time Conlon's break made the try.
Well, they did this move last week against St George, made the same break. Watch the run round. Beautiful executed pass. Notice how they missed the man out there. Conlon comes through, just ankle tap. But inside this time, whereas last week he went on his own, and Les Kiss, the new Australian winger, watch the run round. This drags the forwards, it drags the defence. There you see the three Balmain defenders, left standing. There's the gap, and Conlon knows exactly what to do. Inside, he knew where Kiss was going to be. Good play by the winger.
Here it is. It's 8-0. North 8-0 ahead. Teasdale, MacArthur, that's Cannon. Couldn't fool the defence with that. Will change. With Bridge onto him. Now Bella. Little ball for Jones. Back to Bella. Good backing up. It's Lennon. Lennon inside, away from touch. Lost the ball. And it's Gale who's got it. Now he's going to call out Bella this time. Bella getting high in the tackle. Plenty of aggression from the Bear forwards.
Well, at least the referee's consistent, Jim. He's given 2 penalties against Balmain for the very same thing.
Davidson. Elias. Watch him work those moves with Jack, but they won't have to bother. It's going to be a penalty against the Bears. It was Cross and Bella in there, not allowing the man to get up and play it. And Conlon, look at that. Last week he couldn't miss. Today, from a relatively simple position for him, he was well away. There'll be a lot of Balmain supporters watching this afternoon, particularly the mob down at the Drummoyne Rowers. I know they'll be loving this. They won't be loving the score, but the action. Surinam goes down. It's against Martin.
I don't know what he's got anything to smile about.
Have a look at this. Gavin Jones is in there. Teasdale.
Oh, he's just got him for a massage, face massage. Entirely free.
This is a tougher kick than the previous one. Into the northeaster. He's hit it a bit better. Look at the breeze holding it up. And it's gone out to the right again. So Conlon's first 2 kicks miss, and it's still the Bears up 8-0 after 20 minutes. Elias's ball. What a good dummy. Back near halfway, Balmain. Bridge to Conlon. North's up fast. Conlon back in the middle with Bridge. Last tackle on its way for the Tigers. Gale. And yes, he's got it. Here's a chance. Gale around Conlon. Look out, Gale's going to score the try easily. What a great individual try to Scott Gale. He's having the time of his life in the last few weeks since he's come back from the wing into halfback. And look at this for an individual try.
It certainly was. North's paid the price of not having the sweeper. The fullback, well, you can't really blame him. He was expecting the kick downfield. And this kid's got plenty of speed. And didn't Balmain really need this? Now you'll watch, just see that there's no one at home, no one there at all, and they paid the price. They were waiting for the kick downfield. It didn't come. This guy said, I'm going on my own. A bit of individual football, and it's paid off.
A lot of speed. Conlon should kick this one right in front, and there's just 2 points between them now. 15 minutes left in the first half, and North's lead 8-6. Roach, here he goes. Good defence. But Balmain threatening there all the time. Bridge. Scott Gale again. North missed the tackles, but Balmain missed the ball.
Good play by Bridge. Stood up the opposition there, but there really was no one coming on, chiming onto it with any speed.
MacArthur getting out of the tackle. A good run by the little halfback. Conlon, watch Conlon go. He's got some pace to Lennon, and Lennon will finish it off for a try. And that all came from the man in from the wing to halfback for North in the last few weeks, John MacArthur. Something from nothing, really, as MacArthur got away. Look at this.
Good play by the fullback. Let's not take anything away from the halfback. He did get away from Gale. And Conlon kept his cool. And the former Rarat. And he's enjoying himself the last few weeks. And to see McCarthy slip away, Hardwick couldn't get him. And there you saw the North player. I think it was Conlon holding Jack back. He chimes in. And just at the right moment. And Lennon says, thank you very much indeed. You won't get any easier than that.
Conlon for the extras. And he's pushed it across the face, just across. So the Bears lead by 6 points, 12 minutes left in the first half. Now just have a look at this again. You see him get away from Hardwick.
Well, Hardwick broke away from the scrum very quickly indeed. And there you see, Bridge it was had been held back there. McCarthy got plenty of speed.
MacArthur having another go. Not this time. The Hardwick's got him. Bridge behind, players down, and it's Martin popping up. Ooh, from Tate it went out to Teasdale. He's lost it. They put themselves under a bit of pressure that time. Here's Schofield.
That was bad play, silly play. Under your own sticks, keep possession, it's vital.
You saw Bridge taking a bit of a knock after the scrum. Now it's Gale's ball to Roach. Almost off the deck. It's loose. Kiss. Give him room. Look out. Recovery from Schofield.
Well, once again, we've seen panic football. Roach this time trying to get the ball away in an impossible situation.
Teasdale. Bella. Hunting it up again. And that was Hemsley.
Missing.
I don't think O'Donnell saw that. It was on the wrong side.
Neither did Bella.
Teasdale. Graham. He's so hard to put down. Look at them. They still can't put him on the deck. Standing in the tackle. Cannon. The defence came up fast, and his kick's not bad. Look at that. 5 minutes left in this half.
Well, he's probably been in bed with flu for some days now, Cannon, but showing no ill effects there. Good step, gave himself room. And this is what the forwards love to see.
And there's the replacement coming on now, Michael Campbell for Gary Bridge. Bridge bruised his ribs about 10 minutes ago. The siren goes for half-time.
Well, a very entertaining first half, Jim, and full credit to both sides. They've stood deep in defence, tried to get the ball out wide. And full credit to North Sydney. They came out with all the guns firing in the early part of the game and got away with it and scored 2 good tries. But Balmain back in the game. They'll have a strong win in the second half. It's anybody's game for the next 40 minutes.
So it's Balmain will be playing with the breeze in the second half. And the man who's about to kick off could yet have a leading boot in the final result of the game. It's Lennon to bring it back. And Campbell, the replacement who came on right at the end of the first half of Bridge, was in there for the tackle. It's Cross. Teasdale up the middle. Back with Cross. Finished up by Sirinen. Who's wants that ball? My goodness, Conlon having to go back about 20 yards to clean up for Norths. Misunderstanding there. And now it's to Bella. Here's the last tackle. They'll be keen to clear. Playing into the breeze this half, the Bears. Conlon pumps it down over the halfway mark to Gary Jack. There's Gale off Jack. Schofield with Steve Roach.
Balmain have got to use the forwards very tight, but they've got to get this link going. Scott Gale has got to get that ball out wide to the 3/4.
Hemsley. Gale. Campbell. Halfway through, but caught. Bottled up by Cross and Martin. That's Roach. Last one for Balmain, down by 6. Elias. Eluding Conlon, look out. And was knocked dead by Norths. Well, Davidson very nearly got the bounce. Look at this.
Good kick by Elias and the bounce over the top of Conlon. But it's fingertip control here. Whoa.
Cross. Sirinen underneath. Roach upstairs. Casey. Good kick against the breeze. Jack. Tate made the tackle. Bella in support. Schofield. Sirinen has the ball stolen and he's going to give the penalty. He must have called held and Graham stole the ball.
Well, Graham comes out with the ball here, turns to the referee and said, "He gave me it, sir."
Conlon not wasting any time. Looks all right. Yes, look at that. That almost hit the back fence on the full. It was a big kick from Conlon, effortlessly pushing it over with his right boot. 4 points the difference. Roach. Cross trying to jump on him. They stopped him. Gale out to Conlon. Conlon back into the middle, straightening it. Down towards the North's quarter come Balmain. It's Elias. Campbell's got it back. Schofield's having a run. Gale again. Here's Jack. What a tackle by MacArthur. And over the top was Bella. Last tackle. Schofield's kick. It's in goal, a try. Davidson scores the try. No.
There'll be plenty of talk about this one.
Let's have another look at this. Have a look at this.
Good kick by the English centre. Now Davidson's coming through.
He lost it, I think.
Yep.
It looked initially as though he got there, but I don't think there's any doubt about it. He lost it forward and they kicked it dead. Here's Owens.
Plenty of fire out there, Jim, and I get the impression that whichever side holds its composure, doesn't get rattled, will finish up with a vital 2 points.
Well, Balmain have got the breeze and they've got a penalty. It's against Nigel Tate. That's about the 10th penalty today. The penalties are more than 2-1 against North Sydney, and it was Tate, you can see, coming away from that. Well, he's missed with 3 of his shots. This one he hasn't missed. 12-10. That's Jones. MacArthur with Cannon. Graham's ball, but Conlon, another good break. He's got Kiss outside. Can he get it away to him? Yes, look out, Kiss is close. Tate drops the ball, it's loose, they've knocked on. Now let's have a look at this. Another great run by Conlon coming into the line. That time they couldn't finish it off.
It was a great run by the full-back, but full credit to Graham. It was a beautiful ball. He held the ball up, missed the man out. Here you can see the ball alive, and just at the last minute, Teasdale trying to get over, but the referee already called.
Balmain came up with it. I think it was Casey in there who got the pass and dropped it near the line. Hemsley. Elias.
Hemsley's been marked very well here, Jim, and they want to use him as a decoy if they can.
Gale's kick. Down to Conlon. He's had a big game, this fullback. There he goes again. Gardner did well to stop him. He's broken some tackles today, and every time he's hit the line, he's made a break outside the backs. Cross. Teasdale doing an Elias. Mark Graham. Tate makes a bit of a break. And it's Gardner who makes the covering save there. But Tate got through. Here's the last tackle. It's going to Cannon. Cannon knows it's the last tackle. Bit too deep with the kick. Davidson with Jack. Gale rushes it back. Campbell. He's the one who replaced Bridge at the end of the first half. Roach. Look out, here come the Bears. Graham had it on his feet, and somehow Elias came up with it. The count will start again, but Balmain were very, very lucky there. You can see Mark Graham trying to control it with his feet. It could have gone anywhere.
Well, they've certainly earmarked Hemsley for a lot of, shall we say, punishment. They've got to use him as a decoy, suck the defence in, and then try to get this link going. Something they haven't done often today, Balmain.
Gale tripped. He was tripped. Now, what's he going to do about that? I think... Who was this at the back? Have a look at the back of the scrum here. Cross.
Well, it's Peter Cross.
Cross who did the trip. He could have well been master of the sin bin for that. But he stays on, and Balmain get yet another penalty.
He's a lucky boy.
It's Hardwick.
Well, with such tight defence, Jim, either side, they've got to put a move on here.
Elias. There's the runner at Sirinen. Bouncing off Bella. Cross went low. Bella comes back with Teasdale to make the tackle. And a penalty. And here's a chance for Conlon. He says the ball was stolen. O'Donnell's given Balmain another penalty. So Conlon a chance to level the scores. And he's missed it. He's missed it. So North's had a let-off. Conlon's missed his last 2 shots. Cross.
Well, both sides are playing as though there's only a few minutes remaining. There isn't. There's 17, plenty of time.
Bella. Bella taking it up magnificently again for the Bears. What a game he's had. Keeps drawing the defence in. MacArthur. Slips it well. Here goes Martin.
He's another Bear forward that's worked well today.
Last tackle. Now look out for Cannon's field goal attempt. He puts in a kick for Kiss, but it goes out to Elias standing wide. Hemsley. Elias.
We haven't seen much of Brett Gale this second half. He's got to inject himself in a bit more. Scott Gale, sorry.
Gary Jack off Roach. Good run by Jack again. And Jack really showing no ill effects of that ankle injury today. Conlon's ball is Gale. Schofield. The pass was just awkward enough to take all the momentum out of it. Last tackle for Balmain. Campbell gives it. Gale's going to kick it. And he finds touch again.
And a deja vu in this kick. They find it difficult to get through this very strong defence, Jim. And full credit to the Bears. McCarthy has been in that sweeping position on every play of the ball.
That's Owens. A good run from Owens back towards halfway. And there's MacArthur, as Steve-O mentioned, covering up. Scott Gale off the side of his boot. Casey. But he's going to give a penalty against the Bears offside. Now this is another chance for Conlon. And Mark Graham not too happy about it. Hardwick is down. Here we go. He's got the breeze. Has he got the accuracy? No. He's missed with 5 of his 8 shots at goal. So 4 minutes left. The Bears lead by 2. That's Cannon. Cross. Let's make it Teasdale to play it. Cannon. And he's going to give a penalty. It's against Roach. Steve Hansen coming on for the Bears.
I think you'll find Martin Bella coming off. He took a bad knock.
And Cannon's down. He's given a penalty against Roach. And Bella's coming off the field. Here's what happened. Here's the reason for the penalty. It was Roach going in high. You can see it. The referee was there. He spotted it. And Bella has had a tremendous match. Paul Conlon to put the Bears 4 clear. It's a dead duck kick. Wasted 30 seconds. Here comes Davidson. Okay, so what have Balmain got left? Down by 2. It's Sinclair trying to run it out. Elias. Roach. Owens. Here goes Davidson, but he's pulled it up for a forward pass. They thought they were away, but this pass, or the previous one, he's ruled forward. Bears to feed the scrum. About 2 minutes to go. It's MacArthur.
Here come the forwards.
It's Cannon. Cannon about 2 metres out. The crowd is roaring for the Bears here. Cannon's been injured. It's time out again. He's taken another knock.
You can't blame him. Every team is using the last 2-minute blues. And they don't deserve to lose this one, North Sydney. It's been a tremendous team effort. The forwards have worked as a good unit. Cannon's kicking contributed to it well. And some great defensive play by Casey and Tate. And Tate in attack. They've really kept the more illustrious partnership of Conlon and Schofield quiet today.
Balmain's handling errors. 2-1 to Norths. Drop the ball or drop passes. Misfired passes twice as often.
It's all a matter of composure, Jim.
Well, Cannon taking a bump to the head. And look at this. Teasel's on the line. He scored. No try. He said no try. He very nearly got it down. I'd like to see that one. And the siren's gone, is it? It's full time. The Bears have won. Look at this. Teasdale went for the line. He dropped it. He dropped it. But the siren's gone. It doesn't matter. The Bears keep their semi-final hopes alive with a tremendous forward performance. 12-10. 2 tries to 1.
On to the Channel 10 match of the day, South Sydney versus Manly Warringah. And what a week it's been in rugby league as officials have fended off the enormous amount of publicity surrounding the violence in the game of recent weeks. Was it going to be the skills of the game of rugby league that finally won out? Well, let's take it all the highlights from last Sunday at Redfern Oval. The giant killers of the Sydney Premiership, South Sydney, up against Manly Warringah.
Hello and welcome to the NEC big game in round 25 of the Winfield Cup between South Sydney and Manly Warringah. And today's match comes from Redfern Oval, home of the Rabbitohs. With only one more round to go after this weekend, just 1 point separates South and Manly, who are sitting in second and third position respectively on the Premiership table. And when you look back to when they played at Brookvale in the first half of the season, South got the money narrowly, 8 points to 4. Every vantage point has been taken here at Redfern for this clash between traditional rivals. Mario Fennick leads his team out after their tough 12-all draw against Parramatta last weekend. Their full team readout: Cruikshank, Ross, Baker, Pobji, Biles, DeJura, Coleman, Andrews, Boyle, Gould, Davidson, Fennick as the captain, and Johnston. Noel Cleal and his Sea Eagles come into this game after their strong win over defending premiers Canterbury last weekend. Here's their team: Shearer, Bowstead, Close, Blake, Ronson, Cox, Hasler, Lyons, Cleal the captain, Gibbs, Hardy, Cochrane and Daly. Kevin Roberts is the man in charge of this NEC big game from Redfern. Manly going left to right. And Cruikshank took it on the heel, or took it on the foot. And we've got a much bigger bounce forward than he expected. He did well, though. Now it's Biles, who signed a contract with South for an extended 2-year period. Boyle. Gibbs one tackler, Daly the other. Big confrontation here today between the man with the ball, Les Davidson, and Phil Daly. They're both very strong chances of making the Kangaroo Tour, and this match today will more than likely decide it. This is Dale Shearer. First kick in the match for Neil Baker. Away for Cox now at right thigh, very heavily taped. super crowd here. They're jam-packed into Redfern. This is Hardy playing against his old club. Roberts standing next to the play of the ball and screaming at Souths, "Give me 5." Brett Ross. Cruikshank. Roberts is now standing back about 10 metres from the play of the ball as Davidson goes up. Coleman to Johnston.
Well, Kevin Roberts is a referee that's always demanded hands off in the play of the ball, and at this point he's getting it, and that's a pleasure to see after what we've seen in the last couple of weeks.
David Boyle tackled on 5. Baker puts the kick over. Unimpeded progress for him, and Hasler goes back. Tackled by Fennick and Baker. It's David Ronson. Cameras take you in close to the action. Spun left for Hasler to give to Cox, and they cut out Shearer. High ball for Cleal, and then it goes out there for Ronson on the left wing. Bosted playing on the right. In fact, it was close rather than Ronson, and now Cox makes the mistake. Lyons has to clean it up. Lyons tackled by Johnston. Hardy with a big run up towards halfway. Ball lost. Cleal. Played by Ronson. Lyons, and that kick is going to find touch just inside the South Sydney 22. Cox back on his feet after getting some attention. He's gone back to fullback for this scrum, and Shearer's fallen into 5'8". De Jura. Biles. As the lower grade scores for you, Souths won the 23s, Manly won the reserves. Roberts is standing. I'm just particularly paying attention to Roberts in this commentary in the early part, because I can't recall a referee coming into a match in a hotter position, a hotter seat than the man who was to be appointed to this match. He's ruling on a 10-metre, not a 5-metre at the moment, in an endeavour to keep them apart. Baker's kick down to Bosted. Shearer. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, what a terrible mistake for Shearer to make. On his own 22, here's the first penalty. That was against Shearer for holding the South player down. And Roberts has pointed towards the sin bin. In fact, there is no reason why Roberts couldn't have used the sin bin right there. Shearer did all that was open to him, really. Any coach in the world would have been disappointed had Shearer not held the South player down. But Roberts, I'll put it to you, had it been in the 75th minute and not the 5th minute, would have sent Shearer to the sin bin right there. Neil Baker to take, for him, what should be a simple kick. He only kicked 1 goal from 4 attempts in the first round. The match at Brookvale, which they won 8-4. 1 out of 4. That would be one of his lowest percentages. He hit that, and he got it straight up and away for 2 points. So the Rabbitohs lead Manly by 2 points to 0 after 6 minutes of time gone. Gould puts a kick in. Baker fields it. Blake fields it, I beg your pardon. As it goes back now, and it's Cochrane who makes a good run.
That's good football by Manly. They've showed us in the opening minutes that they're prepared to try things.
Away from Cleal through Cox to Hasler, now to Lyons. Holds it back, the defence hangs back, back to Cox and across to Hardy. Held by David Boyle. Daly. Davidson gets a shoulder on him. Daly gets the ball out the back. Picked up by Close. Davidson takes him too.
Coming in to assist in that tackle was Michael Andrews. Away for Hasler. This is Gibbs. Lindsay Johnston met him, but Gibbs beat him. Davidson and Fennick go in to make the tackle. And out comes Davidson. He's saying to Davidson, keep them lower. Now the touch judges come in to add his tuppence worth to this caution on Davidson. So Manly with the chance. There's the swinging arm. It looked more like Fennick, but then Davidson came in over the top a second time. This is one of the many things that Mal Cochran has got. He's a good goal kicker, but he can also play anywhere. He played fullback and centre with the Australian schoolboys. He'd handle 5/8, believe it or not. His kick is away nicely. It's a goal for Malcolm Cochran. And that's the equaliser. 2 points all. The Rabbits and the Eagles. It's Bronco de Jura, who plays it about 7 metres into Manly's territory, across to Andrews, to Boyle, and Andrews on the run around. Look at that scrum statistic again for you. 4-0. Here's South. Baker. Baker kicks. He'll score, Baker. He'll score for sure. Yes. Neil Baker salutes the heavens and gets a right royal reception from the South Sydney crowd. Well, look at them. They're cheering from the rooftops at South Sydney. Well, the ball went to Phil Gould, and he ran across towards Neil Baker. It's called fading. Baker decided to use the kick to beat the fullback Dale Shearer. Cruikshank was trying to get there first, but Baker said, no way, this is all mine, thank you.
Well, Baker had a decision to make here. He had support on the outside in the form of Cruikshank. I thought that Cruikshank had called for it, and Baker should have given it to him, but Baker summed it up fairly well. He kicked, he gave chase to the ball, it got over the try line, and he fell on it for the 4 points for the Rabbitohs.
Great try, scored by Neil Baker. Six points to 2 in favour of the Rabbits. Solo performance by Baker. Who did he bust in that line, Bill?
Ron Gibbs. Ron Gibbs came in to make the tackle. Thought he might have left the man, Gibbs. Came in, thought he could finish him off, but Baker was hitting the ball particularly hard. Baker now, 10 metres in, 22 metres out. There it goes. The ball is high. It's a goal for Baker. 8 points to 2 in favour of the South Sydney side. Dummy half is Mario Fennick. It goes to David Boyle. Boyle is taken by Ron Gibbs and Phil Daly. And Ron Gibbs about to get a caution for a swinging arm. Roberts is calling out number 10, which is Ron Gibbs. And he's saying to Mario Fennick, leave the refereeing to me. I'll look after it. So it was David Boyle who went in. Daly went in. So did Gibbs. It wasn't easy to see there what it was all about. And Gibbs has been suitably cautioned for a swinging arm. So the tap will be taken only 17 metres away from the Manly line. They cut out Johnston, give it to Gould and then to Biles. Biles is pulled down by Bill Hardy. Very testing time this for Manly. If South can put next points on the board, they're going to be hard to toss. Gould. Now it's Boyle. Boyle heading for the ground. He lost it. He's given 6 more. Taken from him by Manly. Gould holds a pass back and finds Pobji. Pobji about 12 metres out. Don't be surprised if they set up a drop goal. They've got the ball still as it goes from Coleman and goes to Cruikshank. He's coming back into the middle of the park. Where's Baker now? He's folding around behind the play. Dummy by Gould. He decides to sprint himself. And he's tackled 12 metres out. I'm just watching the number 3, Neil Baker. He's positioned himself behind the play of the ball. There he is, and he's going for it. There goes the drop goal. The arm goes up from Kevin Roberts. 1 point to South Sydney, 9 points to 2, and Neil Baker has contributed all 9. Well, it was pretty obvious that's what they were setting for. 9-2 in favour of the Rabbitohs.
Manly have elected to make South Sydney work in defence. They've held the ball for the 6 tackles and rucked it downfield, but I think they could improve their game somewhat if they introduce some kicking. Little kicks, chips over the top. I'm sure that that's something that could supplement their approach.
Manly winning a scrum against the feed as Cleo gets a pass away. De Jura picks it up on the bounce. So though Manly are getting a whacking as far as the scrum statistics are concerned, there it is, 5-1 to Souths as Cleo goes to the 10-metre line. In reality, Manly has had the better of the scrums when you measure it on the feeds. The scrums won against the feed. This is Cox, and Cox is tackled about 18 metres out from the South Sydney line. Manly brewing it up now.
Well, this is where Souths have got to watch the Manly big men again, Coyle and Close in particular.
Now it's with Cochrane, but Manly are playing very much like a team involved in a grand final as Hasler gets it away to Cliff Lyons. Now to Mitchell Cox and away to Dale Shearer. It's 1-on-1. Shearer flicks it out the back and down it comes to South Sydney. I was going to make the point that some of the passes that Manly are throwing, they're made without any care being paid to it. They're going willy-nilly all over the place, and Souths are coming up with some cheap ball. Here's Boyle now. He's out to the 22, but Cleo takes it off him like a thief in the night. Cox away to Blake. Here comes a try for the Eagles. Close. Yes, he's over the big centre. Chris Close goes in to score for Manly. 9 points to 6 in favour of Souths. After Noel Cleo stole the ball from David Boyle. Have a look at it. Here it is. Boyle carries it in one arm, only one arm, and then Cleo comes out the other side. It was all pretty simple from there on in as Cox spread it to Blake. Blake got a pass away. It looked to come off the fingertips of Biles, and Close then actually crawled over the line to pick up the Manly try.
It was important for Manly that they hit back quickly, and they did it through a ball that was stolen by Noel Cleo. Now, of course, the South Sydney defence was never organised. They were expecting to be able to ruck the ball out in attack. They couldn't get back into position quickly enough. Baker came across as the ball was thrown over the top. He hit Close short of the try line, couldn't hang on to him, and Close used his huge frame to best advantage.
Chris Close, Australian representative, Queensland representative, and one of the biggest men in the game of rugby league, playing in the three quarters. Cochrane from the 22, 5 metres in from touch. Damn good kick. He got it away, but it's wide. So the scoreline remains unchanged at 9 points to 6 in favour of South Sydney. .12.5 minutes of time remaining in the first half of this clash between, well, traditional rivals of the modern era, Souths and Manly. And basically, I think it'd be right to say, basically owned the period from the start of the 70s until the end of the 70s, and then it was taken over by the Parramatters and Canterbury. Shearer coming back. South's 4 handling errors and Manly 11. That, well, it testifies to what I was saying earlier.
Well, I still think that Manly are giving themselves too much of a luxury of rucking the ball out. They could put the ball down the other end of the field with one good kick and chase, but they're taking the odds to it. They're prepared to move the ball around in their own quarter, and I don't know really that it's working for them. They look pretty disorganised to me in their own quarter.
Gibbs outside the 40 and over the halfway. Here comes Hasler. The old Gibbs held it back, and he kicks ahead. I think Hasler will score. Well, no, it's gone over the dead ball line. Well, I think Ron Gibbs, and it's easy to be a grandstand jockey, but in my opinion, he bombed this try. Instead of kicking it, he had drawn the last line of defence. He only had to draw them, commit them, and give the ball to Des Hasler, who had enough pace to score the try. But, as I said last week, so many players are damn kick happy. Now, Gibbs only had to pass the ball to Hasler, and I think he would have scored. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure he would have. Baker, of course, did exactly the same thing 10 minutes earlier and came up with a try, but I'm sure the best alternative for him would have been to give the ball to Cruikshank, who was unmarked.
Well, yes, of course. This is Johnston now. I don't think there's any question that Hasler would have zipped over the last 22 metres to score. Manly coming up with the ball.
Yeah, South Sydney now starting to make mistakes, and they're giving Manly plenty of possession, and Manly are the sort of side you can't afford to do that to. They're very good when they've got the ball in their hands.
Hasler turning it around for Cochrane. Gould comes at Cochrane, makes the tackle. 10 minutes of the first half remaining.
I still believe that the Manly attack isn't working as a unit. It's been more individual breaks rather than team play that's caused the gaps that they have made.
Now it's with Lyons. Daly. Good ball from Daly. Over to Ronson. Ronson smothered by Pobji and Dejura. He's still got the ball away for Mitchell Cox. Cox is tackled 9 metres out from the line. 5 gone for Manly. Will they push the ball along the line? It's a terrible pass. And Lyons, he looked like he might have knocked on. It's Cochrane with the ball. Back to Hasler. Now it's with Boustead. Boustead turns it for Cleo. Cleo goes for the line. The ball goes to Blake, but it was knocked on by Blake and dived on by over the line. Mitchell Cox. It'll be a scrum 5 metres out. So it was little Bowie who turned it to Cleo. Cleo couldn't break the defence, and he got this ball over to Blake, and Blake fingered it ahead, and a scrum. South, they had control of this match, no question, for 25, nearly 30 minutes. But now the pendulum has swung the other way, and Manly...
It's all coming down to discipline and ball control.
Knocked backwards by Brett Ross.
And the team that can carry out those two facets of the game, discipline in their defence and attack, and control the ball when they've got it, well, that's the team that's going to win.
Cruikshank to play it. A dazzling run by him. Johnston. Oh dear, well, South...
And that's anything but discipline and ball control.
South deserved to pay the penalty for that.
That's bad play. You know, 10 minutes to go before half-time, leading 9-6, nothing on, and putting a player under pressure.
Shearer drops the ball. It's a penalty to Manly, though. He's given a penalty to Manly against South for being inside the 5. Well, he held the penalty back, Roberts. He was applying that discretionary advantage. And then when Manly lost it, he decided to use the penalty as his weapon. Mal Cochrane, like to back him out, wouldn't you? He's got it. No worries for mighty Mal. Scoreline is 9 points to 8 now in favour of South Sydney. Now it's Gould. Little ball for Davidson. Met by Hasler. Gets a ball out the back. Comes down into the arms of Bill Hardy. Getting close to the half-time break. 9 points to 8 in favour of South. Cox turning it inside to Close. He's over the top of number 9. That was Boyle. Down it goes for Shearer. Shearer gets it inside. Close is going to score his second try. Chris Close scores his second try for Manly. Well, a ball that Les Davidson threw is the ball that I'm sure he wished to God he could take it back again. But Boyle fell off that tackle on Close. Shearer came into the play, up to the 22 line, inside for Close, who backed him up, and then this big human steamroller type centre picks up his second try.
Well, it's always going to be the Manly big men that are going to give you problems. You can see here the reverse pass from Cox back into Close. Close realised that he had support in the form of Shearer, gave it to Shearer. Now, he's got plenty of pace. He was able to skirt the defence, but realised he was hemmed in. I thought Close positioned himself in support particularly well when he goes in to score. Manly try number 2.
So Cochrane from the 22, 9 metres in from touch. Again, it was simply a case of ball control and lack of discipline. The scoreboard really should have told South the story. 9-8, you're in front. There's no need to play pressure football. You're in front. They're playing catch-ups. And Davidson squeezed a pass out. You'll recall it came down to Hardy, and the scoreboard now tells the story. 12-9 to Manly. The kick from Cochrane. It's not bad. It's a good kick. It's a good kick by Malcolm Cochrane.
Manly 14, South Sydney 9. This is Johnston. 5 tackles gone. And the ball going into no man's land as Boyle comes up with it. That's the turnover. Played by Lyons, the siren sounding in the background as it goes along the ground and picked up by Close, and then it went over towards Ronson, but it's gone into touch. That's the end of the first half. After South led 9-2, there's the halftime score, 14-9 in favour of Manly. And let's take a match comment from Graham Hughes.
A very sloppy first half of football, and that's quite surprising in a game of such importance as this one today. It's almost as if the sides are being unselfish in their attitude towards each other. I think as we turn around into this second half, the most important point is going to be purely and simply the concentration of the players. That's going to be the key to this game, because in this first half of football, no one has had their minds on the job for the entire first 40 minutes.
Paul Vaughton out there in jumper number 22. Bill Hardy is the man who's been replaced. There's the first half tackling sheet for you. David Boyle, not surprisingly, topping South, and Cliff Lyons with 16 topping Manly. Now South kicking down into the sunny corner as Shearer comes back. I'm fairly sure George Piggins at halftime would have said to South, you had it basically wrapped up and you let it out by not showing the required amount of discipline with the ball.
Well, they dug their own grave, didn't they? The first mistake was when Boyle lost the ball and Manly scored, and then Davidson pushed a pass that he didn't have to, and then Close scored when he made that long break. So South have simply got to control the ball much better.
And there it is going to ground, put down by Manly. Coleman comes up with it, spreads the ball to Bronco de Jura. He gets away from Mitchell Cox and takes play to the 32-metre line. We'll get a report from Graham on Bill Hardy in just a moment. As it comes now to Gould. Gould's pass is put down by Davidson, picked up by Cox, given to Lyons. Hasler's with him on the right. On the left is Ronson, this man, but it's gone behind him. De Jura to play it on the Manly 32. Away to Gould. Davidson. Both teams showing a scant respect, a scant regard for the length of time they're in control of the ball. As it comes away to Coleman, to Jura, to Baker, and now Cruikshank. He gets in, but he can't get between. Gets the ball away to Baker. Baker! He's up to the 10-metre line, and Podgy puts it down. Well, that looked almost certain to be a try. Baker desperately got it away to Podgy. Went behind him, but the ball was actually propelled towards the opponent's dead ball line. And that's what the book says, so no question about a knock-on. Though it went behind him, or bounced behind him, it was propelled towards that corner on the ground. South winning the scrum against the feed, so that levels that statistic up. 1-1, scrums 1 against the feed. Johnston is 10 metres out from the line. Lyons low, Vaughton high. To the blind for Gould, and Cruikshank drops it. Well, how many handling errors has there been in the opening 5 minutes? Against both teams, too. One's as guilty as the other. Gibbs it was without the headgear, not Daly. This is Cleal now. Cleal's pass was forward to Cox and then knocked down by Coleman. He ran slap bang into Davidson. He's all right. Cox has got the football back. And so Manly will play it about 5 metres into South's area. Away goes Blake. He senses that the defence is broken. He wheels a pass out then to Dale Shearer. Shearer's looking for Bowstead. He's tackled just outside the South's 22. Shearer to play it. Spun out by Cochrane through to Hasler, now to Blake. And Blake is held over there by Baker. Daly now. Hasler, Cox, to Jura low, Gould up the top, just outside the South 22. Lyons back to Vorton. Gould the tackler, underneath. Boyle up the top. Cochrane, inside ball for Cleal. 20 metres out from the line, 5 tackles gone for Manly. And may resort to the air. No, Cochrane goes from dummy half, kicks ahead. Oh, Baker takes a swift catch and a beauty. Forced in goal. Yeah, well, he fielded it back in the field of play and then is actually, when the tackle was completed, he's back in the in-goal. My confreres in the box next door just said something, and about 3 or 4 of the South Sydney people tried to get through the glass at them. Here's Blake now going down the line. Inside for Vorton, over the halfway. Kerry Bowstead is piling on the pace. Throws it inside. Lyons picks it up. Played back now for Cochrane to go out from dummy half. Back to Cleal. Cleal to Hasler. Hasler to Cox. Long ball. Intercepted by Podgy. They won't catch him. He's got 6 metres start on Hasler. He's running away from Hasler. And so he should. Michael Podgy, the recipient of an intercept that came from the hands of Mitchell Cox. And South Sydney will be back in front after Neil Baker goes through the formality of conversion. Reggie the Rabbit loves it. And so too do the South Sydney players. It was Mitchell Cox. He knew that the South Sydney defensive line was at 6s and 7s. He threw a long ball. Podgy knew that he was outnumbered. So Michael Podgy, he went for the only alternative, the intercept, the old faithful intercept. And then he had a big start on Des Hasler. But if you were rating Hasler on enthusiasm, he'd have to get 11 out of 10. Michael Podgy, the try scorer, and Souths come back to 14-13 with the conversion to come. Baker to take the conversion from 9 metres out. This will put Souths in front by a point. Here he goes. It's home for South Sydney's Neil Baker. Souths leading by 1 point at 15-14. Gould, Davidson. Manly players surging in. Davidson losing the ball. It was ruled as stolen. How did you see it, Graham?
There's no way in the world that I would have given a penalty to South Sydney there. You know, all year long we've seen players lie on the players, but in that circumstance, Les Davidson had nobody else but himself to blame. He struggled to get up quickly to play the ball, and he simply lost it. That wasn't stolen at all.
Now South take the tap penalty on the Manly 22 to Gould, to Coleman, to Johnston. Manly player injured attempting the tackle. It's gone across to Dejura. Davidson! Davidson gets it back to Andrews. Oh, Les Davidson, he would have run through a brick wall there. Fennick, Dejura, Gould goes himself. Gould. Oh my goodness, he's close to the line. That's about the time in the match he started to go himself against Canterbury. Fennick, yes! Mario Fennick has scored. Right smack bang into the uprights. The smile Fenwick. And South Sydney leading by 19 points to 14. You can knock us, you can fight us, but you just can't beat us, says the sign on the hill. And look at Fenwick, the salute of power. But let's have a look at this. Play the ball from Gould. Fenwick, that was so easy, really, in the final analysis.
Soft try, this one. The Manly defence was far too high. Fenwick went underneath and was able to plant the ball over the try line.
Well, Phil Gould was the man that actually started the problem for Manly. There's no question about that. Mario scored the try, but I'm sure he would tell you that Phil Gould was the man mainly responsible, and Gould is nursing... What is it? I thought it was a rib. Yes, it is. He's clutching there at the floating rib section of the cage on the right. But now Ron Gibbs, what's happened to him, Graham?
Gibbs was in the initial injured in the initial tackle on Lindsay Johnson as that play was set up. I don't know what's gone, whether it's been a badly torn hamstring, but Mark Pocock out there for him in 26.
Pocock on and Ron Gibbs off. Doesn't look to me like he's got any feeling in that left leg, that left thigh, as Baker gets the extras and South Sydney lead by 21 big points to 14 against the Eagles. Mario Fenwick. He certainly knows how to play this type of game now. 7 in front, 17 to go. And a big kick by Gould, fielded by Bowstead. Here comes Bowie up to the 22 line and pulled down there by Michael Pobji. Playing it back to Dale Shearer, who goes for a run to the blind side and gets away from a couple of fragile tackles. Cleal takes another one to the blind, gets a one-hander away, but South's come up with it. Well, they're the sort of passes that Noel Cleal knows Manly has to risk. They have to play it like that. Boyle slowly to his feet, playing it back to Mario Fenwick. Away to Coleman and now to Davidson. And the big man goes up and is met again by the Manly defence. But Davidson is one of several South Sydney players having a big game. This is Andrews. Andrews is pulled down about 15 metres out from the Manly line. Again, pressure for Manly. Coleman puts the kick in behind Shearer. Baker's going very fast, but it's gone over the dead ball line and a line drop out to restart. Craig Coleman's kick. Execution was fine. He didn't have runners running off his hip, though. They were coming from too far back. But here's the line dropout, taken by Mal Cochran, going down towards Coleman. He'll let it go back for Cruikshank. And this young fullback who has got to step off both feet is tackled on the Manly 32. 21-14, South's leading. They trailed 14-9 at halftime. 12 points they've scored in 25 minutes of football. Lindsay Johnston. Here's the tackles count. 16-16. So everywhere you look, they've made the same amount of handling errors. I think you'll find the scrums won against the feed. They are level. The missed tackles are level. And here's Gould now, taking it up rather softly, as I'm sure they work into a position for something that is just down the track. Although it was on tackle 5. Coleman from dummy half, as cheeky as any little rabbit. Politely puts over a drop goal. From dummy half, the second marker got out. The front marker, how Daly didn't get a hand to it, I don't know. But it's a point to South and they lead 22 points to 14. South's winning the scrum. Coleman. South's 15 metres out from the Manly line. This is Boyle. He's played very strongly in defence. David Boyle. as he did last weekend. He missed a couple of vital tackles, though, in the first half. Johnston. And here from dummy half goes Fennick. He gets it out to Baker. Baker gives it to Pobji. And Pobji's tackled 2 metres out from the line. Plays it back now. Boyle gives it away to Gould. Gould stands, looks to offload, but he decides to take it to ground. 5 tackles gone. Where's Baker? He's folded in behind the play. As it comes back to him now, he's going to go for it. He gets it off the ground all right. It's a goal. Yes, another drop goal for Neil Baker. 23 points to 14. South leading Manly, but he seemed to have an age in which to set his compass and get that ball between the uprights. 23 to 14 in favour of the Rabbitohs. Let's take a report from the sideline from Graham Hughes. One that I promised you earlier on Bill Hardy, and now a later one on Ron Gibbs.
Well, the reason for Hardy not coming back after half-time was that he has very deep bruising behind the left kneecap, and Ron Gibbs is either badly torn muscles in the thigh or something even worse, and he'll be on his way tomorrow morning for precautionary x-rays.
Graham, are the Manly forwards starting to look very tired to you now?
Well, they just haven't had the same enthusiasm as South right throughout the game.
Cox picks up a loop. He's called it back. He's called it back. Roberts indicating that it came off a Manly player and was projected forward. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Davidson tried to get this pass away. He did, and then Fennick gets the pass over, but there it is coming off Cliff Lyons. Well, there's no way in the world that Roberts was wrong in that ruling, because the ball came off Cliff Lyons and went forward, and Cox picked it up. Shearer comes outside the 10-metre line. He's met by De Jura, and also across there contributing in the defence was Andrews. This is David Ronson. And that's got to be a Manly penalty. Stealing the ball against David Boyle. Eight minutes to go. Manly taking the kick for line. I think Graham's been able to grab Phil Gould as he came from the field. So let's go to Graham, and he'll talk to Phil Gould now.
Phil, at half-time, it looked as though South were letting go of a great opportunity after that initial start to the game through that Neil Baker try.
Mate, we did the groundwork early. We got on top, and we lost it into the second half of the first half through silly mistakes of our own. I don't think it was so much Manly's good play. It was just our silly mistakes, and we had to cut them out if we were going to win.
South has certainly put it together as a team in the second half. What is the side's greatest asset?
Guts. Dead set guts. They play as a unit. They're just something unbelievable, these blokes. They just want to win so bad. And, you know, they don't deserve the criticism they've had all year. I think today will prove, hopefully we can hold on and win this one. Today will prove that we're worthy of the top 3 spot. All
right, 7 minutes still left on the clock. We'll go back to the play.
Thank you, Graham, and thank you, Phil Gould, as Dale Shearer puts the kick up. It's a very high bomb, and up they go, and down comes David Cruikshank with the ball. Well, he's had a splendid game at fullback for South today. High ball, he proved to be very safe underneath it. Mario Fennick. And Fennick slowly to his feet. Johnston has come off Graham. On goes a player in number 18, Mark Ross. Mark Ross, thank you. Lindsay Johnston coming off. It looks like he's damaged his right arm. Baker away from 2 tackles before being held there by Mitchell Cox, it was. Away now to Brett Ross. He gets a kick in over the head of his opposite number, but it was marked nicely by Bowstead. Now it's with Shearer. Shearer comes back to halfway. 6 minutes of time remaining. Manly getting a replacement ready. Bosted folding in to take the first pass. George Piggins. What a year it's been for him. Daly. Now Cochrane. Cochrane's up to the 22, and they all fall off him, and he's been taken by Mark Ross. A dummy to Cleal and given to Cox for Manly. Holds it back, and Blake will score. Blake goes in very wide out to plant the ball down for Manly. 5 minutes to go, 23 points to 18 in favour of South. There's the replay. It was really Mitchell Cox. By holding it back as long as he did, he gave it to Blake, and Blake speared over the last 15 metres of ground.
A good combination, this one, between Cox and Blake. Held the pass back. The timing was there to perfection. Blake came onto the pass. Was a tremendous show of speed by him. The South Sydney defence had no chance whatsoever of getting near him, and he scores a belated try for Manly.
'82 Rookie of the Year was Phil Blake. But here's a very big kick coming up. 3 out of 4 for Mal Cochrane. He's 5 metres in. How long to go? Is it right on 5, or would it be 4? We'll say 4 and hope. Cochrane, 22 out, 5 in. He likes it off the boot. It's getting away. It's no goal. So the score remains 23-18. Manly need a converted try to win. Ronson plays it.
And I'll be surprised if Noel Cleal isn't an important part of it.
Dale Shearer's within 15 metres of the line. I reckon you're watching Manly's most popular play unfolding. As Cleal comes back to the blind, he finds Vaughton. Vaughton gets rid of a tackler. It's gone to Pocock, and Pocock is held 10 metres away from the South Sydney line. Played back now for Cochrane to give to Daly, and Daly is hit by Boyle. And also number 51, that is Chisholm. It's a penalty to Manly. Penalty to Manly, stealing the ball against Souths. 23-18. Cleal telling Cochrane to take the tap. It's gone to Shearer. Shearer held only 8 metres away from the line. A cliffhanger of a finish at Redfern.
Keep your eye on Cleal.
23-18. Pocock goes to within 2 metres of the line. Cleal is back to the right. He's coming hard now. Here he is. Cleal 5 metres out from the line. Now they're stretched out to the left, Manly. Souths are a little bit light on for numbers. Long ball, Lions out to Close, and Close is tackled 11 metres out from the South Sydney line. 23-18 as it goes to Paul Vaughton, and Vaughton is tackled on tackle number 5. They may resort to the old faithful here. They may go for the air. No, Pocock runs it. They smother the ball into him. That's the turnover, and Noel Cleal throws his hands in the air and says, what the hell is going on here? Now the photos are being taken of Piggins and Gould in expectation as the ball will be spun from Coleman to Baker for the big kick from the centre. There goes his kick. There goes the runners. Dale Shearer goes back for the ball. Shearer takes it away. He's got the ball to Bosted. He comes inside, but Mark Ross is there to make the tackle. And there's the siren. There's the siren, the hooter. And South Sydney, I just saw Phil, yeah, there they are. Actually, George and Phil embraced and gave each other a kiss. Even that's excusable, I would think, for the coach who obviously will be the coach of the year, Georgie Piggins. Look at the smile on the little bull. Here come the players. Well, what a game for South to win. The lanky Yank is in the action as well. Souths 23, Baker, Pobji, Fennick tries. Baker 4 goals and 2 drop goals. Coleman a drop goal. And for Manly, close 2 tries. Blake a try. And Cochrane 3 goals.
Mario, a great performance from South. They had to come back twice.
Yes, Graham, it was certainly a great performance. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves by dropping silly ball in the first half. We were on top in the first 15-20 minutes and we tried to play a little bit fancy. That's not really our go. We're mainly a grafting sort of a team and we found ourselves in trouble.
Well, it's a young side. How does it feel? You're now confirmed, entrenched in that top 3 position.
Well, it's so sweet. The critics, I hate to say I told you so, but we've been saying all along that we've got the ability to challenge for this premiership and it's just so sweet for me.
Well, let's have a look at the other results now from the round that'll be completed tomorrow night with a super match. North 12, Balmain 10 in Saturday football. Penrith recorded their biggest winning margin ever in the club's history. 50-14 they defeated the Sharks. 22-20 in favour of Eastern Suburbs. South 23, Manly 18. And Canberra 19 bowled over the Eels 12.
Parramatta got a taste of what was to come when in the 7th minute a quick passing movement and a flying John Ferguson put Rowan Brennan in under the post for a 6-0 lead. The Eels came back through the boot of Peter Sterling. Mick Delroy outleapt Gary Belcher and just manages to get the ball over the line. And things were looking up for Parramatta when Ashley Gilbert spilt the ball. Brett Kenny was quick to pounce. He turns the ball back inside to big Eric Growth. Growth was unstoppable, bolting some 60 metres to put the visitors ahead 12-6. For the rest of the half, the Eels had the better of the play, but just on half-time, Gilbert made amends for his earlier mistake. Keeping up with Meninga and Belcher, he took the scores to 12-all at the break. John Ferguson had one of his best games of the year. Here he feels a sterling kick shortly after half-time. He dazzled the defence, sprinting 50 metres. Ashley Gilbert showed the pace too to accept the pass for his second try. Mal Meninga booted a field goal with about 12 minutes remaining, and the Canberra forwards tackled right to the...
Finished their season with a club record score against the Gummy Sharks. The first of their 8 tries came when Greg Clements grubbed a kick and Brad Izzard pounced just in time to score. The second try also came from a kick through. Half Gary Longhurst grubbed and Izzard and Rob Robards fought for the try, Robards scoring it. Big Darryl Broman in his farewell match for Penrith sent Izzard into a gaping hole, and he had either David Lydiard or Ken Wolfe to choose from. He chose Ken Wolfe, who got the pass and the try. Brad Izzard has waited all season to show his best. This is why he's called Wiz. He does it all by himself against the Sharks, who badly need some help from a doctor on this effort. Totally out of character on their good recent displays. After leading 26-4 at the break, Penrith piled on the points. A neat reverse play by Broman and Greg Alexander ended with Greg Clements scoring, and Penrith got their highest score since 1976 when they beat North Sydney 43-9. The Panthers, in a stunning result, win 50 points to 14.
At the Parramatta Stadium, the Roosters posted the first try when Hall and Testman worked a wraparound for Brian Johnson to brilliantly flick it on for Dean Bell, who's able to stand up the Steelers fullback. 10 minutes later, Greg Mackey darted through a gap before unloading to Hardy, who throws a lofted pass for Alan McIndoe to score. However, the Steelers only held the lead momentarily because the Roosters raced in 2 more tries, this one for Wayne Chalice and one for Gary Worth. Trailing 20 points to 10 and doing their best to avoid the wooden spoon, the Steelers began the second half quickly with 2 tries, McIndoe scoring his second. With just 5 minutes remaining and the score deadlocked at 20-all, the referee awarded East a penalty right in front, leaving the final result at Roosters 22, Steelers 20.
That super performance by South Sydney with that victory over Manly Warringah has placed enormous pressure of course, on both Canterbury, Bankstown and St George as they went into the Monday night football clash at Belmore Sports Ground. Everyone's been asking the question recently, when are the real premiers, Canterbury Bankstown, going to stand up in this 1986 competition? Their attack has been fumbling along in recent weeks, and of course in that area it all starts and finishes with the great Steve Mortimer. He was the key to last Monday night's big clash at Belmore Sports Ground against St George. Let's go to all the highlights.
Well, the last time the Rockettes were at Belmore Sports Ground, of course, there were some unsightly incidents occurred. And they were back tonight and going through their routine very professionally, as though nothing had happened. Just let me very quickly say, though, on behalf of the very vast majority of rugby league fans who come to the grounds, what happened here last time was only representative of a very small percentage of people. There's one in every crowd, unfortunately, as Canterbury Bankstown takes to the field. Here they come, the Dragons. What a wonderful performance by them. They were written off, 5, 6, even longer weeks ago. People said they can't do it. Terry Lamb. They're still queued up outside, thousands upon thousands of people. And may I say to the people running Monday night football in the suburbs, because of the response, you've just got to open more gates, more. Well, I don't know whether, I think it's probably because people come so late to see the first grade kick-off at 7:30 that the gates aren't big enough or not enough of them to handle them. But every vantage point taken here. A record year for Rugby League, as these pictures from Belmore testify tonight. Mickstone blows time on. The Dragons kick off. They run left to right in red and white. The blue and whites of Canterbury come back through Andrew Farrell. Lower grade scores for you. 10-2 to Canterbury on Saturday, the 23s. Reserves 8-0 to Saints. And Michael Stone quick to blow the whistle, and a penalty to Canterbury. Wind, as I said, coming quite strongly. Mainly, I would think, across the ground. It might be favouring St George, but a man who can give a better view on that is Graham Hughes. Here he is on the sidelines.
Well, I think that kick will tell its own story. The breeze, in actual fact, Ray, behind Canterbury Bankstown and quite strong. Definitely worth a good 6 to 8 points in the first 40.
All right, Graham, thank you. And there's the ball going to ground on an early tackle for Canterbury. Guida comes up with it, flicks it away to Jarvis. Jarvis looked to be put down late to me. Number 9 for St George now. Burgess has tackled, no gain in ground. Canterbury coming in, hitting like hammers. It's gone away now to Linaney. Grubber kicks. It's not a bad one. Curry goes across. Curry's in trouble. He's had to rake it over the line. Well, it's the best he could have done under the circumstances. He was getting some dreadful bounces, Tony Curry. He just couldn't get a clean shot at it. And eventually he thought, well, here goes, bingo. And Walford plays it for St George. Oh, Jarvis has elected to play a very narrow blindside. Plays it back to his winger. Now it's to Haddock. Cuts out Welsh. Finds Fafita. Fafita's tackled. Just a couple of metres into Canterbury's area. I saw a tackle during that commercial break by Terry Lamb on Steve Linane. He let him know who the boss was, let me tell you. Here's Linane with it now. He's in and away, and he's going inside the 32. Oh, this will be a penalty. Curry has dead set tackled Linane late. It'll be where the ball landed, and Michael Stone gives the penalty to St George, rightly so, and he's put Curry in the sin bin for 10 minutes. Well, that's what the sin bin is all about. Here's Linane. Have a look at Curry. Curry puts him on the ground. The penalty's given where the ball lands, and Michael Stone has put Curry in the bin for 10 minutes. And that's, I believe, what Kevin Roberts should have done in the opening 5 minutes at South yesterday. O'Connor takes a quick tap. He passes the ball wide, and Walford goes in to score. A sensational St George try. Well, talk about quick thinking. Well, Michael O'Connor, he simply went up, he took a quick tap as Canterbury were preparing to watch him put it between the big sticks and take the kick at goal, and he's passed this long pass out to Walford, and Walford just ambled over, and here's the closest player just arriving. Well, that's unbelievable by the Saints.
They're the sorts of things that can give coaches nightmare, but they're also the sorts of things that can win you a game. Canterbury minding their own business, waiting for O'Connor to take the kick for goal. He took the tap, fired a long pass, and they've now got 4 points with a chance of 6 instead of the 2. And someone give Roy Masters a Mogadon.
Roy Masters, what about Warren Ryan? I think Warren might need the Mogadon, never mind about Roy. Roy will be on top of the moon. The kick from O'Connor. He's just missed it. Oh, brother, that was a close one from O'Connor. 4-0 in favour of St George.
Well, St George had 2 approaches they could take into this game. They could play it safe and wait for Canterbury to make mistakes, or they could do all of the running themselves and try things, open the game up and have a go. And that's exactly the attitude that they've adopted.
Kelly to play it now. He's outside his own 32, but only by a couple of blades of grass. On the blind side is Tunks. And it's a penalty to St George, and a little bit of fury, a little bit of fire. And Michael Stone darted in. And that's the closest thing we've seen to anything that resembled a dust-up in our 2 telecast matches yesterday and tonight. Yesterday, though, it was tough. It was like a Sunday school picnic. Just let me get back to that sin bin action of Michael Stone's. I suppose there'll be those that'll be critical of the referee, but that's what it was there for. And I can only applaud him. I don't know what your opinion is, Bill Anderson.
Yeah, I think the professional foul's the sort of thing that we need to stamp out of football, and that was a good step by Stone.
Done now. A hand back to Bugden. Away now to Gillespie. Gillespie taken over the top by Jarvis, and underneath was Guider. There's a penalty now going to Canterbury. It's against Guider and Jarvis for not getting off Gillespie. I was going to say I might get a quick tackle count on Guider. He seems to have been mixed up in plenty of the action. And the little St George hooker. As Andrew Farrer takes the kick for line. 12 metres out from the St George. Guider's made 10, has he? 10 tackles, 17 minutes gone in the match. Now Walsh makes the tackle on Bugden. And here they come, Canterbury hitting the blind side. Langmack, it's a try for Farrer. Oh, St George. They absolutely fell apart on the blind side. Andrew Farrer. He got a beautiful ball from Langmack, I do believe. And he strolled him. Well, they quite simply didn't mark up one-on-one.
I think you can notch one up for the coach here. He must have read St George were going to be short on the blind. It was a crisscross move. Langmack was the man that floated around the back. He made the extra man. You'll see him here. He drew the winger, who was Morris, fired the ball onto Farrer, and Farrer was able to plunge through.
Andrew Farrer scores the try for Canterbury Bankstown. Leaves the Burt nicely, but it's coming away, so it's no goal for Lamb, and the scoreline remains unchanged at 4-all. Won by Canterbury. Langmack picks it up at the base of the scrum, fires the pass to Curry. Curry's pass forward, and a scrum will go down almost in the same position. See it again. Langmack picked it up from the base of the scrum. He got his pass away. It looked to go over the shoulder of Walford. Canterbury win the scrum. It's out to Langmack. Langmack is held by Burgess. Desperate stuff for Lamb. Plays the ball, and a penalty to Saints. Penalty to Saints. It's against Terry Lamb for an action of his in the play the ball. Here's Lamb, taken by Burgess. And there he goes with a little right cross come elbow type jab to the chin of Burgess. Second ball got onto the ground. That's the reason for the slight hesitation. Or Jarvis has put it down on the first, with St George making mistakes on early tackles in this little passage of play. As Dunn takes it up now.
Mortimer on the blind, holding it back, turning it to Tunks. Tunks off a standing start, gets it back for Mortimer. Mortimer tackled by Fafita. Guida came in, so too did Funnel, and he's lost the ball. So Steve Mortimer still on the ground. He's very groggy, Steve Mortimer. He's trying to get up, Steve Mortimer, but can't. Well, here's Steve up in that top right-hand box, getting some attention now from Larry Britton. Oh, he was totally unconscious, Steve Mortimer. There he was taken in a three-man tackle. He may have even got a knee. And back at Belmore, the scrum that went down near the Canterbury line was fed by St George but won by Canterbury, and you're seeing the end of a brilliant attacking run by them. It's gone through several sets of hands. This is done. He got away from attempted shoulder charge there by Selby, and there's a punch-up going on in the back play between a couple of players as Michael Hagan plays football. He takes play to within 12 metres of the St George line. Now Stone calls a halt as Lamb and Guida exchange blows. Lamb was tackled, I'm led to believe, without the ball. And then he and Chris Guida, they let each other have it. Two of the smallest men in rugby league, and they were letting them go at a great rapidity rate. Here they come now, the two little fellows. This is about the third round here. In the meantime, Steve Mortimer and Steve Linane, they were just keeping each other at bay. Paul Dunn took it ahead. In the meantime, the two little fellows said, well, come on, round 5 now. Let's get this sorted right out. 10 minutes in the sin bin for both of them.
Well, I don't mind that. I think the most pleasing thing of it all was it was an altercation between Guida and Lamb, but no one else came into it. They just left them alone.
The penalty's been given to Canterbury.
Hard luck for Canterbury, but they got the penalty. Lamb's off the field, and so they've reverted now to their second-string goal kicker, Andrew Farrer. And the last time he was here on a Monday night was the game against South Sydney, and he just couldn't put one over at all. Yeah, but that was the night they were kicking with that trick football, wasn't it? They were using a trick football. If you hit them in the middle, they all go over. Yeah, that's only your opinion. You should talk to the goal kickers. It's a fact. You can kick a tennis ball over if you hit it right. Thank you, Golden Boots. Here's Farrer now from 35 metres out right in front. This can put the Bulldogs in front by 2. Left the boot all right. That looks okay. It's a goal for Andrew Farrer and for Canterbury. 6-4 they lead. Back to Burgess, given to Haddock, and away now for big Funnel. Funnel strides down to that 40-metre line. Only a matter of seconds to go in the first half. We'll talk to Wally Lewis at half-time. Steve Morris plays it. On the 32, no marker. Crosses the 22. And Perry Haddock has gone into dummy half. Siren must be about to sound. Funnel puts a kick in. Fafita's going quickly. Curry takes the kick, and Fafita takes Curry. That was a good piece of football and a good show of courage from Curry. I don't know whether that's... Mortimer's pointing to the clock saying, I think the siren should have sounded. But that was a tremendous take by Curry, and he was hit by Fafita. And Curry is still getting attention as we put your halftime score up. Canterbury 6, St George 4. Oh, what a bruising first half it was. The bloke with the whistle's got to get some of the credit for it too. I mean, they hit each other with everything, but he got them apart as best he could. What's going on here? Farrer's coming in from the wing.
Still no Terry Lamb on the field. He's still doing time in the sin bin. So that's what's happened. Farah probably forgot that he'd be required to kick off. Another 4.5 minutes in the sin bin for both Chris Guyder and Terry Lamb. Burgess comes back. A good 20-metre run. First half tackles. Walsh with an amazing 19. Not necessarily be amazing to some, but he's a big man, a big front rower, and he's come up with 19 in the first half, so he's covered plenty of territory. And a kick for Funnel. And down inside the 22, Curry. And that's exactly where he's tackled, on his own quarter-way line. Glenn Friendo. Well, you heard the interview with Wally Lewis from Graham Hughes, and he pointed out that he's here to talk to 3 Sydney clubs. And Steve Mortimer has tackled one of them, St George. I wonder what that does to the mind of a player in such a game as this, the player being, of course, Steve Lanane, wearing the number 6. That's, of course, whether Wally decides to stay at 5/8 or go to lock. Bugden. Good run by Mark Bugden. Second ball has found its way onto the ground. Langmack. Gillespie. Able to get the ball away for Mortimer. Steve Mortimer 12 metres out from the line. Peter Tunks to dummy half. Away then through Hagan to Dunn. And Dunn tries to get it away. And they ran straight on top of that second football, which became a little bit confusing. As Dunn it was, who went ahead. He tried to get a ball around the corner. It was knocked down.
It was knocked down by a St George player. A pretty tough call, that one on Dunn. It should have been
Mortimer, Langmack, and oh gee, he's close to the line. Tunks from dummy half. Tunks is over the line, but he's held up. Well, the referee has ruled that he's short of the line. Steve Mortimer, he'll come back to the blind side, the big blind, Graham said, but he spun the ball left to Kelly. Kelly held by Lanane. Played back to Bugden. Here's the ball coming back to this wide side of the ground now. Langmack gets it away. It came off Lanane into the arms of Jarvis. But he's ruled the ball was knocked forward. And there's the sin bin timekeeper telling Terry Lamb to come back.
St George defence has looked at 6s and 7s in the first few minutes of the second half. They're starting to bunch and leave holes out wide. It's a matter now of Canterbury being able to get the ball there.
Peter Tunks gets it away. Kelly knocks it backwards. Dunn goes ahead with it. And they're about 6 metres out from the St George line.
So it's on again out wide here if Canterbury can push it a couple of passes.
Steve Mortimer dollies with the ball. Gets it back to Curry. Then to Bugden. Now to Gillespie. Gillespie tries to fend off Selby but doesn't succeed. And 5 tackles are gone. Most of the Canterbury players on this side of the ground, the left, as Kelly gets a grubber kick ahead. It was picked up and spun quickly, but it went forward. No question about the pass here from, I think it was Langmack who actually got to the ball and then let it go. And Andrew Farah, he had no quibbles about it. As this scrum goes down, is fed and won by Canterbury. Mortimer comes the open side. He's tackled 2 metres out from the line. Another great chance for Canterbury as Dunn goes towards the line. Mark Bugden's the dummy half. St George with 4 players on the blind side. Bugden has a go himself. Played and Tunks goes from dummy half, gets over the line, and it's a try. Peter Tunks has got the ball down. Well, how many tries has Peter Tunks been able to score from dummy half?
Well, Tunks is a specialist in his position, but he got a lot of help from Mark Bugden. He took 2 or 3 St George players out of the play. He made a hole for Peter Tunks and he charged through it.
Yes, it's something that we've grown accustomed to seeing from Canterbury. We saw it in the grand final last year where Peter goes to dummy half and he tends to get, well, he basically pushes the man who's played the ball ahead of him. using him as a battering ram, and Tunks is able to push his way through. Saints are making a change. Here's Graham Hughes.
Billy Noak moving out there in 24. We might have to keep our eyes open here as he goes on to find a replacement. Only trouble with tonight, of course, all the coaches and officials back up in the grandstands and off the sidelines.
Walsh coming off. Terry Lamb gets it away all right. The flags are in the air, and Canterbury Bankstown leading St George by 12 points to 4. Funnel's kicky. Punched it hard, but it's gone too big, and this is a scrum back on the St George 22. So many sides leave that clearing kick until one of the obvious tackles. When I say obvious, the tackle that the marker defence is going to be keener on, more enthusiastic on, instead of kicking on an earlier one. And a double run around, and it's eventually gone wide to Glenn Frendo. The defence has got him. Has it? Yes, they've got him. 3 metres out from the line. Haddock. Selby. Graham Wynn on the sideline. He's been brought on as a shock weapon, you might say, in recent matches, and apparently has had an amazing run of success. This is Frendo now.
I think Canterbury might have their own shock weapon also in Jeff Robinson. They'll use him at some stage of this second half.
Frendo with a very big run, and has he got some toe? Tackled 15 metres into St George's area. Steve Mortimer capitalises on the Frendo run. Calls Curry inside. The ball has gone to ground. Picked up by Burgess, who in turn is tackled by Lamb. Walford now. What's the story with Wynn, Graham?
Well, the story is at this stage that Wynn is supposed to replace Funnel. He's also sent Billy Noak out there as another runner. I would have thought that Funnel being somewhat more of a creative player, I thought he might have been the man to stay in for feet of them on to go.
Guider. Good run. He's a courageous little fellow, Chris Guider. Johns, ball coming, bursting out of the tackle, and Chris Mortimer is going to go all the way and score. So the tackle was on, the ball came ricocheting out of the tackle. Chris Mortimer got the most favourable of bounces and went in for one of the simplest tries one of the three brothers will ever score. Here it is. It was Chris Johns tackled. The ball simply came from his grasp, and Chris Mortimer only had to catch it on the bounce and race in behind the uprights. 16-4.
Canterbury took a bit of a risk here. They were spreading the ball in their own quarter, but you see here the benefit of strong defence. It's got a lot of advantages, and one of them is that this can happen. The ball was jolted free. Chris Mortimer was on the spot, and he goes in to score the try for Canterbury that I think is going to seal this match and possibly a spot in third position in the semi-finals.
16-4. Chris Mortimer, the man scoring the try. Front, makes no mistakes, and there's the new scoreline for you, 18-4 in favour of the Bulldogs.
Well, here comes a real Belmore hero, Jeff Robinson in number 11 for David Gillespie.
To the blind side for Kelly and Langmack, and haven't they used this play a lot tonight? Curry tackled just a couple of metres out from the line, and now they're wide to the right. Indicating in the skyward direction. Bugden does a little pirouette, and he's tackled 2 metres from the line on 5. Steve Mortimer passes and finds Lamb. Lamb goes for a little drop goal. Applestone has a look around him and says, fair enough. 1 point for Terry Lamb and for Canterbury. 19 points to 4, the new scoreline.
Long pass by Linane, finding Johns. O'Connor on the run around. The cutout ball to Walford. Here comes Canterbury's Terry Lamb. He missed him. He kicks ahead Walford. The ball bouncing all right for Farrer. Farrer back in the in goal. Touch judge goes in. Maybe to report a little bit of a harassment from Curry on the kicker. To me it looked like, well, next door to nothing. It is Curry that's been called out. Now watch Walford kick and then watch Curry. Now it certainly was nothing like the incident that cost him 10 minutes early in the match. But the referee has taken the touch judge's opinion and has given the penalty to Saints. This is the same thing head on. And there certainly wasn't much in it, but that's the way the referee ruled, acting on the touch judge report. Walford tackled 10 metres out from the Canterbury line. Osborne coming to the blind side. But as Osborne came to the blind, looking hopefully for 2 or 3 St George players, all he found was one, and that was Billy Noak. Of course, the winger had already taken the other play infield. This is Haddock. Almost, oh, he lost it over the line. So close and yet so far. Here's little Perry Haddock looking at the line, reaches out. Kelly sweeping it back to Bugden, then to Mortimer, now to Lamb, and Lamb tackled by Linane. I was going to put it to you, Graham, that I don't think you should cover up your allegiance for a club, as Mortimer makes a split. And Townsend has gone on. 5 tackles gone for Canterbury as Lamb punches that ball over towards the touchline and finds it just outside the St George 22. The battle, though, that goes on inside your club for this hooking role between Bugden and Johnston, it has been an absolutely enthralling duel, hasn't it?
Well, Warren Ryan has selected the hookers against different teams. Billy Johnston, as far as I'm concerned, I've said it before, is a far better dummy half in regards to his service from that area. But Mark Bugden, on the other hand, has shown many times before what a great runner he is, and situations like this are made for him.
Here's Bugden with the ball now. About 5 metres out from the line. Played back to Paul Dunn. He's going to have a go himself. He takes them on, gets it out the back for Tunks. Tunks gets it out for Bugden. Bugden to Mortimer. Mortimer a long ball to his brother. Then it goes on to Hagan. Hagan cuts out the fullback, gets it to Frendo, and Frendo goes in, but the pass was forward. Beautiful piece of football by Canterbury. It deserved more than it got. That was the final pass to Frendo that was declared forward. But very good forward play in tight by Dunn and Tunks. They hit and spun, drew defence, got the ball out the back, and then quick hands across the line. The last 7 or 8 minutes with St George throwing it around. It's gone out wide now for O'Connor. Comes out to the 22. Johns cracks them. Linane goes ahead. Now Burgess. Hagan on Burgess. Burgess being chased by Lamb. Gets it away now for Townsend. Townsend to Walford and St George. A 95-metre try. Well, Walford scores the try for St George. Only a matter of seconds after Canterbury had been denied their own try. The ball went down to Haddock and then to Linane. It went, I thought, off the hand of Noak backwards to O'Connor. O'Connor got it back, and it was Johns who cracked them. Linane had to almost reach back to take the pass. A couple of these balls may have appeared forward. If so, it was line ball. By golly, that bloke showed some pace. Townsend, he came on to replace Skyder. He was up there strutting his stuff with Chris Johns and Ricky Walford. 19 points to 8. There's the attempted conversion on replay. And the scoreline. 19 points to 10. Just in the event of a double playoff not this week, but next week. Team A would, here's a good run by Selby, turning it inside, picking up this man Townsend. Now it's O'Connor. O'Connor's gone into the middle of the ground. He got knocked over from behind. Watch the referee. He may well give the penalty. He does. Where the ball landed. A little bit of a dust up there. Linane and Lamb. And now Haddock and Lamb. Now from the tap, it's Steve Morris, a metre out from the line. Somebody forgot to tell the Saints they were beaten. They're really coming back. Townsend away to Graham Wynn. The big man stands. Can he get the ball away? He's tackled about 6 metres out from the line. Graham Wynn told to play the ball. Lays it back to Townsend. Away it goes for Haddock. Haddock gets it on to Billy Noak, and Noak is tackled 10 metres out from the line. Ball lost, and a scrum to go down. A concerned St George coach now, Roy Masters, the dying seconds of this match. And what's the bottom line? Well, it means that St George are going to almost certainly be in a playoff for that 5th position. Canterbury, a very real chance of finishing up in the top 3, maybe on percentages. There's the siren. This battle of Belmore is over. Played before a crowd of just under 20,000, and Canterbury Bankstown defeating St George by 19 points to 10. Here's the scoreboard. Farah, Tunks, Chris Mortimer, Canterbury tries. Farah, 1 goal, Lamb 2 plus a drop goal, and for Saints, Walford 2 tries and O'Connor a goal. 19 to 10 in favour of the Bulldogs over the Dragons. South on 36, leading the way with 1 week to go. Parramatta 35, 2 in advance of Canterbury and Manly on 33, remembering that Parramatta play Manly next weekend. And it's likely that Manly will go to 35, Canterbury to 35, and thus you'd have the 3 of them sitting up there, and percentages at the moment suggest that Manly is the team that could be coming down to that 4th rung of the ladder. But that's only at the moment, taking the points against away from the points for, or vice versa. Then you go down to Balmain and St George on 28 with North, the 3 of them, neck and neck as they go to the wire. And Balmain, of course, have got a very big match coming up out of next weekend's round. And there it is. West play East, Cronulla take on Norths, Illawarra play Canterbury, Balmain play South, the competition leaders, Saints play Canberra, Penrith, well, the Panthers are the only ones certain of picking up the 2 points. The NEC Monday, the NEC big game for Sunday is, of course, Manly and Parramatta. Why not? And the Monday match is to be advised. Thanks for joining us again on this week of Rugby League. Hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed presenting it for you. See you next week.